Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm finally getting my 100 sub contest together, so I decided to write out some rules, so here they are. So for my 100 sub contest, the rules are as follows. Must be 18 or older, sorry kids. US only, sorry Canadians, and everybody else. It just makes shipping easier and all that good stuff, so unfortunately I decided to make it US only. Like, comment, and subscribe. Obviously, subscribe is the biggest part. And what I want you to do, and I was kind of going back and forth on this, but I decided to do something, just kind of nice and easy. And maybe based on your guys' recommendations, I'll figure out new books to get. But I want you guys to make a video or make a snup shelf showing 5 underrated comic artists. So I figured, I didn't like to make videos right off the get-go either. And there might be some people watching this out there who want to participate in the contest, but don't want to, make a YouTube. Well, they still probably have to have a YouTube account to make a link in the video description. But I figured, since it's kind of the way I started out with the community, I figured I'd involve snupps a little bit as well. So if you guys want to make a snup shelf showing 5 underrated comic artists or make the vid, either way, I'm limiting it to 1 contest entry per person. So, that makes the whole contest easier to manage. So that way, if someone makes a snup shelf and a video, I'll still count it as 1 entry. So I'm just using snupps for those people who don't want to make a video or are afraid to, basically. And then the reason I say like, comment, and subscribe above, for every 50 subs, another prize opportunity is created. So basically, this stack right here, I'm going to give away as part of my 100 subs. So if the contest is still going on, I cross 150, I'll put together another little prize package, basically a second place package. If somehow I get to 200 subs, which I'm not really counting on, but you never know. If I do get to 200 subs, I'll put together 3rd place and so on and so forth, which obviously probably won't get too much past that. But I'm making the deadline for the entries May 5th. So basically, Cinco de Mayo is the cutoff. So that way the following Sunday I can get together, I'll do a random.org thing and pick out a winner, maybe 2 or 3 winners, you never know from there, but at least 1 winner will be picked as things stand now. So once again, 18 plus, US only. Like, comment, and subscribe in this video below so I can see the entry. Make a vid, make a snup shelf showing 5 underrated comic artists, and for every 50 subs, a new prize opportunity will be created. So I got 5 books together just to kind of give an example, I guess, of what I would be looking for 5 underrated artists. And once again, I figured this would be a good way to shout out artists you normally, you like, but you don't hear a lot about on the community. So these may not be artists that are underrated in terms of, in the comic book industry, but just, merit more attention in our little YouTube community here. So the first book I picked was Saya Alm book. I was kind of introduced to her work at Cincinnati Comic Expo last year, and ever since I've been hunting her covers down, and they're just phenomenal. I'm very surprised. I never really heard of her before last October, September, whatever month it was. So every time I see a cover, I just have to get it. And I saw this Runaways cover she did for A-Force, and I was like, why is this it just sitting at the Books A Million shelf and not flying out the door? I think it's just absolutely amazing cover as far as covers go too. I believe right now she does work for Aspen. I can't remember the name of her book. I think they gave me a free copy when I went to that Comic Expo. But yeah, definitely seek her work out. She does some excellent covers. Next up, as I was saying yesterday, I think Ivan Rice is a little bit underrated in our comic community. For as great a work as he did on Jeff Johns' Green Lantern stuff, and I think he did some Justice League stuff with Jeff Johns too. I feel like his work merits a little bit more attention, and I mean, just look at this awesome cover he does. And his interior work, I feel, is just the same quality as his covers. And a lot of artists out there, usually their covers are awesome and their interior art is mundane at best, but I think Ivan Rice really knocks it out of the park in both cover art and interior art. So absolutely, in my opinion, underrated. Some people might disagree with me on that and think he's rated just right, but I think he's underrated. Next up, not artist I hardly ever hear about too much at all. She does go to a lot of conventions. That's Jen Bartel. Like I said, I've started to pick up a few of her covers too. And like I said, I just really like her covers a lot. I hope to see more of her interior work out down the line, but I'm hoping to get, a print or 2 from her at C2E2 this weekend. I think she's scheduled to be there. But this is just one example of Gwenpool 25 variant edition. I thought that was a really awesome cover from her. Number 4, I have a Frank Bruner cover. I think this is one of the coolest covers I've ever seen. And also his interior work, just like Ivan Rice, his interior work is amazing. So once I got involved in the community and started collecting older books, and saw some Frank Bruner, Doctor Strange stuff, I've been hooked ever since. Every time I'm going through dollar bins and $5 bins and such at conventions, just like I was at Indiana Comic Con this last weekend, I was looking everywhere for just Frank Bruner older stuff. So, like I said, I'm surprised I didn't really hear about him prior to joining the community and actually buying a Doctor Strangelette and seeing this. So, Frank Bruner, I can't say enough awesome things about his stuff. And then last artist I'd like to highlight is Jock. Then there's a little bit of talk about Jock here and there in the community, but I think he should be up there as some of the top artists. This is just one example of his work on All-Star Batman #1. I think this is one of the coolest Batman covers of all time. Hopefully I get him to sign it this weekend, but yeah, actually he's one of the few artists I actually have like his big giant art book over there and everything. I got posters from him. I absolutely love Jock's work. So, and he had a good run on Witches too. If you guys were looking for a book to get introduced to Jock in, I think that would be the easiest way. And then, of course, he did Detective Comics around Scott Snyder. At least he did half of it. I think Francisco Francavilla did most of that, but he did a few issues. But just some amazing interiors from him as well, and cover art, of course, too. All right, with that out of the way, you're probably asking what we're giving away here. So once again, if I don't cross 150, this will just be the only prize right here. If I do cross 150, I'll put together a second place prize. I was guessing about 10 books. I ended up just putting in 15 because why not? It's a contest. So like I said, 150 will be a second place, 200 will be a third place if it gets to that. My guess is it probably won't, but I'm aiming high here, I guess. So the grand prize, in my opinion, for this whole lot, I'm just going to throw in an Alex Ross signed Batman book, number 685, with an awesome Catwoman he did. So like I said, I've got a decent amount of Alex Ross signatures, so I decided to give one back to the community because I haven't seen him making too many appearances lately. I figured instead of just sitting on a short box back there, it deserves to be in someone else's collection who will treasure it a little bit more than me. Not that I don't treasure it, but I think, getting this for free would make someone's day. Next up, somehow I ended up with an extra copy of Secret Wars #1 for cheap, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this in too. What else can I say about Secret Wars? An awesome cover, very iconic at this point, so I'm going to go throw that in. I had an extra copy of this, and this has been a very hot book lately, and I may regret popping this in later. We'll see what happens, but I have an extra $7.95 Amazing Spider-Man. I just figured, why not throw it in? I really don't try to make extra money off my books at too many cases, but I was just like, maybe someone's missing this and doesn't want to pay too much for it. I'm just going to throw this in too. And then I had somehow stumbled across extra copies of Deadpool #1, his first miniseries. And then I noticed there was a #4 on the back, so I was like, I'll throw that in too. Why not? Because I had another #4 already. So I'll go ahead and throw this in. I've got a Green Lantern #1 New 52 Greg Capullo variant. And as you can see, this is just sitting in a dollar bin for some reason. I'm like, well, this will be a good... I'm sure someone out there really wants this. I already have another one, I think, signed by Doug Mankey, so I figured, why not offer this up as part of the contest. I have a God Hates Astronauts #1 extra copy. It's actually signed by Ryan Brown, and he also personalized it with a hat, I guess, so, or yeah, whatever that's supposed to be, but I thought it was pretty funny, so I threw it in there. I also have a Fantastic Four 67. The main reason I'm throwing this in is, #1, it's an extra copy for me, and I think this is the start of probably my favorite Fantastic Four storyline of all time, that Mark Waid wrote about Doctor Doom, especially this issue here. I at least wanted to try to throw in some good reads regardless of any type of value or anything. So in my opinion, if you guys are kind of fans of Doctor Doom, I want to throw this book in so you guys can read an awesome Doctor Doom story. And then I had an extra copy of this, Batman 21, first appearance of Duke Thomas, who becomes the Signal. So I figured I have an extra, and I may as well just pop it in there. Next up, Flash the Fastest Man Alive #13. This is a DC Nation variant that was handed out at conventions. I already had another copy of this, so I wanted to make sure this got popped in too, and I know someone will appreciate this. Pretty cool cover swipe from a comic I just showed on my Indiana Comic Con haul. So this is the one I was talking about when I was referencing the cover swipe, so I figured I'd put that in there. And I've never really read this book, but I had 2 copies because I got one of those Image blind boxes last summer, so I figured I'd throw in an Image blind box variant. This is the Few #1. And I think they only made technically 1,992 copies of this cover based on the whole rules they had for the Image blind box. But somehow I got like this and the Virgin variant, so I figured I'd offer this one up as part of the contest because I really didn't need 2 copies. Next up, I got a free comic book day version of All-Star Superman. So once again, I almost wanted to put some good reads in there. And you can't really get any better than this. This is my favorite Grant Morrison run of stories of all time, and this is just a reprint of the first issue. So if you guys haven't checked this out, absolutely check it out, and hopefully whoever wins this box will actually read that. I also had an extra copy of Green Lantern Green Arrow number 95, and if you guys have been keeping track with my videos, you guys know I like to get these Bronze and Silver Age Green Lanterns. So I figured why not throw the goofy No Beard Green Arrow book in there. And then my last 2, I didn't even know I had extra copies of these. I was just kind of getting ready for a convention. I just saw I had a bunch of copies of these for some reason. I really don't even know why. But, you know, I'm a pretty big Mike Turner fan, so I decided to put in this Fathom number 8. It's a Wizard World LA variant. I don't know how many of these. I'm guessing there were probably like 1,500 or less of these printed. And somehow I got 2 or 3 of them. So I figured, why not? It's an excellent Michael Turner cover. So you can't beat that. And then I also had a Soulfire Dying of the Light number 3 with another awesome Michael Turner cover. And this one was from a Wizard World Texas. And it probably, like I said, had about a 1,000 to 1,500 print run. So definitely hope someone's looking forward to getting those. So that's it for the big, like I said, I'll probably just, you know, put these in a box. If I feel compelled and I just get blown away by the results of the contest, I may put a couple more books in. We'll see. I still got a convention to go to this month. I go to Half Price Books and, you know, scour their dollar bins almost daily. So, you know, we'll see. There might be a surprise or 2 in, but, you know, count on at least, you know, this being the first prize. And like I said, I hope to at least get to that 150 tier and make up a second box. So obviously tell your friends and all that good stuff. Hopefully this is a decent, someone thinks out there this is a decent prize. So once again, please spread the word, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And thank you so much for helping me reach 100 subs. I never thought I'd reach this peak. So thank you so much to everybody who's currently subscribed, and I guess hopefully 2 new subscribers I'll get with making this contest. But until next time, I'll see you guys later, and thank you so much.